That's okay. Let's start on time. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Congratulations. My name is Meg Krudish. I'm the Director of Admissions and Director of Student Services. I know some of you.
Some of you. It's good to see you guys today. So I am going to give a brief overview of our school, and then we're going to have other administrators give their overview about their offices and what they provide.
So
So we are a graduate school only, right? We offer doctoral degrees. How many doctoral students are in here? Yes, some of that. Master students, those are the bulk of our students, and that's you guys. Masters of Public Health and Masters of Science. The advanced certificate, some advanced certificate students in the house, great. We offer non-credit certificates as well, and then non-degrees. For students who just want to take a course, see.
We have 4 departments within our school. The Health Policy and Management Department, and they have the doctoral and the master's program. The Environmental, Occupational, and Geospatial Health Sciences Department, that's the nutrition and the MS and the MPH in environmental health, and the doctoral program in environmental health. The Community Health and Social Sciences, that's the Community, Society, and Health doctoral program, and the Community Health Sciences. Community Health Education, and the Epidemiology and Biostatistics, pretty self-explanatory. We have 2 administrators who unfortunately could not be here today, but they are your points of contact for your department. So you all got that white bag with a lot of different things in it, a lot of piece of paper. It's this thing. Let me know if you guys have not received the white bag with this folder. You can get one outside. It has a lot of pieces of information, but one of the most important pieces is this piece of paper that says Office of Student Services, but it's really all the offices that the school has, or most of the administrative offices that you will be interacting with. And it has contact information for me, for the registrar, the bursar, financial aid, library, bookstore, everyone. So it has contact information for a lot of people, including Toya and Himani. So if you don't know who to contact or you don't know who to go to, you can always reach out to me. I'm always available to you. But your administrators, your departmental administrators are there for you as well, especially if you're trying to get in touch with your advisor or talk to a faculty member. So the CUNY School of Public Health is one of the many CUNY campuses, and we are just that. We are our own school. We are not affiliated with City College. We're not Hunter College. We're not Lehman College. We are the CUNY Graduate School of Public Health and Health Policy, and this is our campus. This is it. We don't have campuses anywhere else. And so there are 4 floors on our campus, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are right now on floor? The 5th floor, you'll be spending a lot of time there. We have a nice student lounge. A lot of you were probably there already. That's where a lot of our offices are. That's where the admissions office is. That's where the registrar and the bursar are, and the financial aid offices. We have some classrooms there. We have faculty offices there. We have, like I said, a nice student lounge. And the IT help desk is there as well, usually in the afternoons and the evenings, if you have any issues with computers, your email, access to different things. The 6th floor has classrooms and faculty offices. The 7th floor is this. There are actual classrooms that are being held here in this room, so you might be here a lot. And the dean's offices and the faculty offices as well. There is a separate student lounge some of you might have been to as well over there, where you can just kind of hang out, do your homework, whatever. There's a computer lab. And then the 8th floor has classrooms and faculty as well. So, how many of you have received the Next Steps email? Okay, I was hoping that most of you would raise your hand, because that is the kind of your gateway into our school. It's what you need to do in order to register for classes. It's what you need to do in order to pay, in order to get financial aid, in order to do so many things that you need to do in the environment that we operate in, which is CUNY First. And how many of you know of CUNY First because you've attended CUNY schools before? Right, a lot of you do, so you're familiar with CUNY First. If you are not, CUNY First is our student registration and information system. And you go in there and you can choose your classes, you can look at your financial aid award, you can look at your bill, you can look at a lot of things in that system. That's how you register as well. So if you have not received the Next Steps email, let me know. I'll be available after this little introduction here, and I can figure out why not. But that Next Steps email, like it says right here, has a lot of very important information. How to get into that account, how to register, all the different holds that you might or might not have, financial aid, how you pay tuition, policies and procedures, your advisors, that's very important, of how to reach them, your email address, and your ID card. So really quickly, the reason why this is even out there is because I am responsible for your immunization holds. So if you have any questions about immunizations, let me know and I can answer them for you. Usually, if you are a CUNY if you have already been at CUNY, you do not have to worry about this. So that next steps email was catered to you. Every single email that I sent to you that was a next steps email was specific to you. So if you haven't seen anything about an immunization hold in your email, that means you don't need to give it to me. If you didn't see anything about New York State residency or anything else, that means that does not apply to you. So not all next steps emails are the same. Okay? Again, I am the one responsible for the New York State residency. If you are an out-of-state resident and you would like to become an in-state resident, let me know, and I can help you and let you know what paperwork you need to submit in order to pay in-state versus out-of-state tuition. Okay. Now, in order to get in here right now, we just kind of went in through those doors, and you will go to the security guard. But once you become a student and once you are able to obtain your ID card, this is what they look like, you'll be able to enter through those doors or any doors in our campus just by kind of swiping the ID. It also has your barcode on the back, your library barcode, and we'll have more information about library services a little bit later on. You can get one if you really want to. You can get one today. They're available today until 9 p.m. after orientation if you just kind of want to get it over with and get your ID. Otherwise, security is available every day for you to come in and get your ID. SPH email. Everyone will be receiving their CUNY SPH email address. In that email, you will know about that email because it will go to the email address that you put on your SOFIS application. Please check that email. Please check your School of Public Health email very often. There's a lot of important information that we send only to that email address. Once you become a student and you're no longer an applicant, all we have is your SPH email address. We don't have your Gmail, we don't have your Hotmail or your Yahoo. We only have your SPH email address. It's very, very important that you check it. There's information there about, financial aid and all kinds of information that comes from the dean about the school, about the different events that are happening. So please, 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 very important that you check your SPH email address to get it, which should be sometime next month in July. Hi, yes. I'm sorry? So we are going to actually have someone from the IT department come and talk in a little bit, and they'll be able to answer that question. But that's a great question. And I think the answer is yes. So I also want to tell you a little bit about our centers and institutes. How many of you have been on our website? Okay, I'm hoping everyone has. So when you go on our website, you've probably been to the admissions website to look at what the admission requirements are when you applied. You might have been on this website to look at the financial aid or register bursar. There's some information here about, our accreditation and about our faculty. If you need to find a specific faculty member or a dean or one of us, the staff directory is here as well. The academics, the departments that I talked about are here as well. But the tab that you should really visit is this one, is research, right? You're now in graduate school, you're now in public health, and some type of public health research. And all of our faculty do some type of public health research, and it's a really great opportunity for you to get involved in it with them. A lot of them have grants and projects they work on, and they need assistance, graduate research assistants like you, because they have projects and a lot of things need to be done. If you click on this research tab and you go to centers and institutes, you can scroll down. I'm not going to click on them right now, but you can scroll down and see what the different centers and institutes are and who the faculty are that work in them. go in there, check it out, contact the faculty members, because there's some really cool and exciting things that our faculty are doing, which is also in this magazine that you got in that white bag. This magazine comes out about once a year, and it has all the cool things that our students and faculty are doing. The research, the different projects they're involved in, all the community things that they're doing that surround public health. So that's kind of, I want to make sure that you guys know about that. We also have a graduate student association, which is led entirely by graduate students, just like yourselves. We couldn't get someone from that association today. They're actually in class. They're taking summer classes. So I just want to tell you a little bit about it. This is an organization that's led by students, and it's for students. So I have a little letter from the last president and the new incoming president. You can read it a little bit after I'm done talking. But pretty much what it says is that as part of your tuition fees, as part of your fees, you pay into this graduate student association. And those fees aren't there for us to collect them. Their fees are for you. They're spent on things that you want to do. They're spent on conferences you want to go to, or things, you know, clubs you want to have, or events you want to put together, or anything that is that's students at our school. And I will email everyone after this orientation about how to get in touch with the president of the Graduate Student Association. And they'll be emailing you as well once you have your CUNY SPH email addresses. Does anyone have any questions? So after all this, I'll be sitting right here at that first table if you would like to talk to me about anything. And so, next up, we have our registrar, Molly Ghosh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CUNY School of Public Health and Health Policy. When you raised your hand earlier, majority of you already know of CUNY First, and I believe majority of you are also registered for courses. For the ones who have not registered, if you have some sort of an issue for which you have not registered, you could come and talk to me over there. But pretty much what I kind of want to show you today is the website. So the registrar's webpage is located under sph.cuny.edu under Student Services, Office of the Registrar. The reason I want to show you this page is because majority of the information you need in regards to how to be able to register, policies and procedures, so the direct link to the academic catalog, which the advising will speak of in a little bit. All the types of important links you need, it's located in this particular page. If you want to formally change your name, the name change form is here. If not, the link to all the forms page is on this page. Things such as what do you need to do in order to be in good academic standing? You need to review the academic catalog in order to get those policies and protocols. So once again, the link to how to obtain this information is in this page. The academic catalog. What are the registration dates and times? What are the deadlines for registration, for billing, which the bursar will speak about, is on this page. So does anybody have any type of particular questions for me for the registration or the registrar? Wonderful. So I am here. If you come up with any questions, please feel free to drop by. And once again, welcome. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and good luck for your academic career.
Thank you.
Did I ask this question yet? How many of you have registered? Fabulous. Who knows? You're going to do great. You guys are going to do so great in graduate school. Okay, so next up is Matt Pachkowski. He is from the Office of Academic Affairs, and he is in charge of advising.
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I'm just looking around and I see a number of you I met with already, and I'm hoping those of you that I didn't meet with, I will get to meet with. I work with the Office of Academic Affairs, and I work specifically with advising. So I just want to outline a little bit over today about how advising works and point you to some resources that you have just to familiarize yourselves with before you start off here. So one of the main things I just want to point out is an academic advising website that I put together that has a lot of these resources and the information that I'm going over today all in one place. So to access that, it's under academics and then under student academic support, and you'll see our academic advising website is linked right there. We also have links to writing assistance and tutoring, which someone will speak about later today. In terms of advising, so you have access to two types of advisors as a CUNY SPH student. You have staff advisors where you can make an appointment to meet with me. You would just click on See an Advisor here, and you can schedule an appointment directly from this website. There are also drop-in hours, and my office is listed there as well. And we have an advising email address. So if you ever run into any issues, just shoot an email to advising@sph.cuny.edu. If I can't answer your question, I will at least point you to someone who can. As staff advisors, we can help you with degree requirements, goal setting, making sure that you're on track to graduate in a time frame that works for you. Those of you that are enrolling in a master's program, either MPH or MS, and those of you in the doctoral program, you will also be matched up with an advisor, a faculty member, a faculty advisor from your department. An email will go out a couple weeks into your fall semester who will pair you up with that person. And your faculty advisor can help you with more of those long-term goals that are associated with your degree. You'll start to have questions with things like what electives make sense for me, where should I do field work or my practicum, what should I do for my capstone project. And the faculty advisor, someone who can really help with these questions as well. In terms of registration, if I could just see your hands one more time, how many of you have registered for? Okay, so those of you that haven't registered, probably the biggest question I'm asked is which classes should I take? And for all of our programs on our website, if you go under degrees and programs, we have recommended course sequences. So for example, we pull up an MPH program. Let me just pull one as an example. So outlined here is the curriculum, but then if you scroll down a bit, we have a recommended course sequence. The recommended course sequence, if you follow this as a full-time student, you won't run into any issues. You'll be able to register for these and finish quickly. Where students generally have questions are when we have part-time students, right? Like how many classes should I take? Which classes should I take? And I would say if you're not following our recommended sequence, then I think it's smart to kind of set aside some time to sit down with me or into your fall semester to sit down with your faculty advisor to actually plan out a curriculum map, right? So when you'll take each class so that you've accounted for all the coursework that you need. So again, welcome, and we're thrilled to have you guys here. My main goal is to be here and support you throughout your studies, throughout any questions that you have, so be sure to be in touch with me. I'll be sitting right over there if you have questions today. If not, send me an email, introduce yourself. I have some cards over there I can give you, and we look forward to working with you. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Matt. Katusha Lewis, our Director of Financial Aid, is next.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to try to be really quick because financial aid is totally different for every student. So I do advise you to email me if you have any questions when it comes to financial aid. But let me just give you the main, I guess, things that you need to know about financial aid. The first step is to complete your FAFSA form. Without the FAFSA form, I cannot process any type of financial aid. So that's the first step. If you look online, you'll see our school code. We are using the same school code as the Grad Center. Sometimes students have questions about that because when they go on, they do not see SPH. We are under the Grad Center, so just remember that. And also, it's the same thing for when you're doing your exit and when you're doing your master promissory note. Our school code, we are using the Hunter School Code. So I've gotten many emails about that. We are using the Grad Center School Code. We do not have an official SPH school code. So that's the first thing. Second is when you complete your FAFSA, you do receive emails from us to tell you whether or not we need additional documents or if everything is complete. The way we send your email, the notification is through your email. And also, if you do have a CUNY First account, you will be able to view every single communication that we send you. So if we need additional documentation, you will see it on your CUNY First. So anytime you have a question whether or not why is my financial aid missing or do I need any additional information, you will be able to view it on your CUNY First account. So everyone who has their CUNY First account, if they have any questions about financial aid, you will be able to view it. Or if you don't see anything, just remember that you could always email me about your financial aid. Also, here at CUNY, here at SPH, as a graduate school, we offer mostly student loans. The two most popular loans that we offer is the unsubsidized loan and also the student plus loan. So those are the two. We do have certain scholarships that we do offer, and it's at the time that you get accepted. If you're qualified for those scholarships, you are contacted by the admissions office to tell you whether or not you've been awarded the scholarships. Also, we do have different scholarships on our website that you could apply for. Many students have gotten, outside scholarships that has to do with public health. So I do advise that you do that as well. And there's other, if you do a search, there's other, I try to put as much as different scholarships for public health that I could find online. But if you have certain organizations that do offer scholarships, we take all type of scholarship. If it's offered to you and it's an academic scholarship, we do process that as well. So just keep that in mind. And also, Alberto will be talking to you about waivers from your employers. I usually process that as well because sometimes they need to get certified in order for the students to receive it. It is processed by the financial aid, so keep that in mind. Lastly, please email. The best way to communicate with me or to reach me is through email. It's financialaid@sph.cuny.edu. That is the best way for you to reach me. Phone calls, the only reason why I do not advise calling is because of FERPA law, which is the privacy law. We're not allowed to discuss in detail your financial aid over the phone, okay? So if you would like to reach me or have any information, the best way is email. And also just remember, you could always make an appointment to come and see me. It's a walk-in basis. Just check the office hours online. But also, if you can't make it in the office hours, we could always set up an appointment where we can meet. On Wednesdays when class are in session, we are here until 7 or later. So if you guys have any questions, you want to come in, you could definitely make an appointment with me. I won't ask if anybody have any questions right now because every single one of you have a different situation. So please email me, and also I'll be in the back after this for about half an hour if you have any questions. Thank you.
just want to say one thing about the scholarships. The MPH scholarships that we've given out don't have any more. That's a question that I get asked very often, if there are more scholarships that we are giving out. We have given out all of the scholarships for fall 2018, so if you've received them, you received a letter from us. Okay. So next up is our bursar, Esther.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I hope you're still alert because what I'm about to inform you is very important. And you might look at me like the bad person because I'm going to be taking your money away, but I'm actually the good one because I'm the one who's going to help you to pay for the investment that you're making in your life. So, having said that, two things I want to point out. I know financial aid just came up, and she mentioned about emails. SPH email is very important that you use it once you have it, and it will be coming often. Like she mentioned, the FERPA law, we need to make sure that we are talking to you. And you are the only one who will be receiving this information about your SPH email account. So we know we're contacting you. So in order for you to get detailed information about your account, it is very important that you reach us using your SPH email account. So I understand many of you are new, you don't have a CUNY email account. It's okay, you can send us email, but we need to have a way to verify that we are actually talking to you. So not much detail of your account will be given until you actually using your SPH account. The other question that I have too, how many of you are planning on doing financial aid? Show of hands, please. Perfect. So for those of you who are doing financial aid, if you have any questions, like she said, Ms. Lewis, you can go ahead and ask questions. But once you get your financial aid awarded, it will show on your account as anticipated aid. One thing that you need to keep in mind and that I also want to advise you is, if you take the loan amount, it's a little higher than what your tuition cost is, and you're expecting a refund, what I will advise you is to please register for direct deposit. It's the safest, quickest, and fastest way for you to receive your refund. If you prefer to do check, just keep in mind that you take the chances of getting that check lost in the mail, and you don't want to take the chances with your money, especially if you need it right away. So I will recommend for you to enroll into direct deposit, and all of that you can do it through CUNY First. So I'll show you in that bag that you receive, in the folder, you should be able to find this sheet. And if you take a look at it, this has all the main information about the dates for payments and your deadlines. So again, we're here to help you process your payments. Once you've registered, you already know what you're doing, what classes are you taking. Okay, how do I make the payments? We have different payment options. You can pay it online as an e-check payment. You can use the payment plan option, and as of until next Tuesday, the 26th, you have the option of having 6 installments. So if you are actually planning to do payment plan, I will advise you to do it right away, because that will give you longer amount of installments, which will divide your balance and smaller payments. So that will definitely help you. So if you are interested in using payment plan, I would advise you to do it before Tuesday so you take advantage of the 6 months. We also have third-party payments. So for those of you who are doing waivers, employee waivers, if you're a CUNY employee and you're bringing in your waiver from the offices, please provide us those waivers way before the semester starts. We don't want you to be accountable or being penalized with late payments because you are I'll bring it whenever I have a chance in the office. You can email it to us at the office of bursar@sph.cuny.edu. Send us the electronic version. We know you have it, and then you can either send it in the mail or bring it in later on when the semester starts, but the first week that the semester starts. But at least we know that you're getting this waiver and we can process it. The same thing with third parties. If your employer is going to be paying, we need a letter, and that is also listed in there. What is the information that we need from them in order for us to make that notation in your account and move that liability. Please be mindful that we won't be taking any grade pending third parties. So if your employer requires for you to provide rates, you have to pay up front, and then you will get reimbursed by your employer once we receive the payment. So if you have any questions about third parties, you can definitely come to our table or reach out to us in the office. Now, let's go to the dates. The payment due date. For those of you who have registered, your due date is July 30th. And obviously, you have different payment options if you're doing financial aid. As long as you're in the process to getting your payment done, if you have any questions along the way, you can either reach out financial aid or you can reach out to me. We will help you out and guide you through the process. The one thing that I want to mention, if for any reason you feel that you're going to need to drop a course, life happens. And I know all of you are eager to start classes as soon as possible. But life does happen. And if you need to drop your courses for some reason, be mindful that you need to drop them before August 26th, the day before the classes start, in order to avoid any liabilities. You won't be responsible for making any payments if you drop once before the semester starts. Once the first official day of class started, and what I mean by official first day of class is August 27th. Your class might not start until August 29th, but the first official day of class is the 27th, and that's the very first official day. If you decide to drop after that, there is a liability schedule attached to that course, and you will have either, depending on the date, if you look at the schedule below, it talks about if you dropped after a specific time, what is the percentage that you're going to be responsible for. So that's one of the information that I want you to be very mindful of. These are configurations. This is by CUNY policy. We have to follow it. I know, like I said, life happens, and we would like to accommodate all of you, but we need to follow these rules. So that's why I want to make sure that you have this information with you so that you'll be very aware for any decisions that you need to make later on. Okay? So if you have any other questions, I'll be sitting down on the side, and also our contact information is on the website. Oh, let me see if I can barely see this screen, so that's why I don't like doing this thing. No, it's here. It's under student services, student financials, and all of this information that I told you is here. You have information about the tuition and fee. The payment deadlines are there as well. The refunds, like I said, if you need to do the direct deposit, once you click on refund, it will give you the references of how to register for enrolled into direct deposit. One thing that I also want to mention, for those of you who have already registered, we are expecting a small CUNY tuition increase. We don't have that detail yet, but I want you to be mindful, for those of you who registered that probably have seen your bill, that will slightly change by the end of this month and not the beginning of this month. So I don't want you to be surprised about it, but please be aware that this will happen. It's a CUNY-wide tuition increase. It's a small amount, but it will impact on the amount of credits that you will be registered for. So I don't want you to be surprised. I just want you to be aware and prepare ahead for it. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to come and see me at the table. Have a great night, and welcome again.
Do you guys remember, excuse me, do you remember my presentation and that one slide that had only one sentence in it? What was it? Check your email. And so right now, we have a representative from the IT department who's going to talk to you about your email and everything else IT related. But checking your SPH email is very important because the bursar might be contacting you via the email, your SPH email, and the financial aid director, and even us from the admissions office as well, and everyone else. Hi, Michelle. Michelle Finn is here.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SPH. So I'm going to talk to you about the 4 accounts that you will mainly be using here at SPH. unfortunately, my slide isn't working tonight, but that's okay. I'll just tell you. So the first account that you're going to use is an account that you're going to claim, which is the CUNY First account, which you can claim through the CUNY website. And basically that has all your financial information, and you have access to Blackboard through this site. The second account that you're going to be claiming is your CUNY portal, which gives you access to the CUNY e-mall. And for any of you who don't know what the CUNY e-mall is, it's where you have access to purchase a specific software for a discounted price. Okay, thirdly, and you've been hearing about this account a lot tonight, it's your student email account. Now, everybody's new here. You don't have email accounts yet, but you will be receiving that information at the end of July. So please pay attention to your email addresses. Make sure you get these accounts. If by, let's say, the first week of August you do not receive these accounts, please email us to let us know that you haven't received our account yet. Our email account for the help desk is helpdesk@sbh.cuny.edu. Again, sorry, the slide's not working. And the last account that you will be receiving is your domain accounts. These accounts are accounts that you will use on campus, where they'll give you access to our computers on campus. You will have access to our Wi-Fi. Also, for your email accounts are good for life, which means they never deactivate, okay? Our help desk hours during class time is until 10 p.m. at night. During summer, our help desk hours are until 9 p.m. We are open until 9 p.m. tonight, so if any of you are interested in going to the help desk, we're on the 5th floor in the student lounge. Okay, again, we're open until 9 p.m. tonight. I know somebody had a question about emails on the phone, what app you would use for that. So there's a couple different ways we do it, but mainly we use the Outlook app. I find that many of our students, as well as our faculty and staff, really like that app. It's really good with the notifications. Again, if you have any other questions about that, I'll be in the back, or you can visit our help desk tonight before 9 p.m. Okay? And thank you.
So I just want to go up here on our website because, sorry, everything's on the website. If you go up here under About, there's a link for IT Systems of Technology. This is the email address you should be using for anything. A lot of times, students forget what their password is for their email, or they don't know how to get into their CUNY First account, or we forget how to get into your CUNY First account. Blackboard isn't working. Blackboard is the system, the environment where online courses take place. So how many of you are planning on taking online courses? Yes, and this is a great benefit of being here at the CUNY School of Public Health, because so many of the courses you can take are entirely online, right? So at least the 5 core courses, the 15 out of your 45 math MPH courses, you can take entirely online, and that's great. And you'll be taking those courses in something called Blackboard. So I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with it. But if you have any issues, any questions, Blackboard, email, anything, helpdesk@sph.cuny.edu. There's information here. How do I get into my email? I forgot. I don't know where the email went. It's right here. It tells you exactly the link. Okay, great. So next up, we have Ronnie Sumler from the Writing Services, and she has a little presentation.
Okay. Hello, how are y'all doing tonight? That's good. So my name is Ronnie Sumler. I am the writing counselor underneath the Office of Student Development, and that also includes like all of the student government stuff as well. And this is my presentation. So, okay, once I had a presentation from a man in a paisley tie, where he said, I'm going to give you the best presentation ever, and he actually asked for questions first. And his presentation was only like 5 minutes, and it was the best presentation ever. So in a bit, I'm going to be feeling you guys for questions really quickly, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them in this 10 minutes that I have. So, okay, here's an agenda, brief agenda, really quick. So an introduction, writing counseling invitation. I'm going to be sharing with you some things I'm going to send you. So I send my students like a package of things to do. This is things you can start on right now before classes get started, because once classes get started, you're going to be focused on doing classes. This is mostly for which professors you need to talk to about getting the graduate assistant or research assistant jobs that you're looking for, which professors to talk to about possibly publishing with them. I'll be going over that. And then brief question and answer, so like 2 minutes. Okay, so just so you can like start thinking about your questions now, here are some goals. I'm going to give you an overview of attributions and how to use them for social research. I'm going to give you an overview of higher order concerns, lower order concerns, and where to get feedback on different things. That's really important once you start writing your assignments and things. And also I'm going to give you an overview of multiple intelligences. That's one of the things in the packet that I'm going to give you. And then an overview of exploration plan. So that's where you're going to start detailing and putting down and listing all the things that you need to get the most out of your collegiate experience here. Okay, so welcome. This is how you can book me at this website, FlexBooker. It's really easy website. You go there and then you just click through the prompts and you'll be able to book things with me. I offer one-on-one sessions and I also offer Tuesday night labs. Tuesday night labs are useful because you don't have to send me anything prior. You can just come and you can sit with me in one of our really nice conference rooms and we can just work on whatever you want to work on while I'm there. And with the Tuesday night labs, you can also like, if you have like group work, if you have group assignments, you can come with your peers then and come to a lab and work on what you need to work on. On a one-on-one session, you have to send me all of your materials. You have to send me the assignment that you're working on, or I also help with what is it, like personal statements, fellowships and things like that. You have to send me those materials. You also have to send me the instructions for those materials. And there's a lot of preparation that goes into preparing for a one-on-one session. So I highly suggest the Tuesday night labs if you just want to orientate yourself. And then the resources for today's topic. These are the 3 things that I usually send my students. The multiple intelligences test, the professional techniques catalog, and that's just a catalog of different activities that you can do to improve your writing and to also develop your career. And then the exploration plan, where you start tabulating things. So this is actually used to be a handout that I used to give to people, and it's a 3,000-foot overview of how to publish a paper. So there's that. I don't have that with me tonight. Tonight I have like how to avoid plagiarism, and we'll go over that later. But now I'm going to start taking questions. So did anyone have any burning like writing questions that they want to know? And I'm going to jot them down. So some questions that students have asked me in the past were what sort of citation styles that we use in the school. Just to give an answer for that one, majority of the citation styles are usually determined by what journal that you're publishing to. A lot of the professors in the school publish to American Journal of Public Health, and the citation style that they use is AMA, the American Medical Association citation style. So you're often going to be asked to do that citation style. It's really easy. It's like superscript and a list of citations. Otherwise, it's APA. Has anyone ever heard of APA before? Yeah. So that's one of the questions students have asked me. Another question a student has asked me, because I did this for the boot camp, was what sort of social media should they focus on? Because I also do academic blogging, so taking your assignments and actually converting them into social media posts and starting to reach the people who you want to reach through social media. Some social media things you can start working on right now is LinkedIn, most definitely. LinkedIn, Twitter, because most of the high influencers are on Twitter, so it's good to go on Twitter. That's a great way to reach people. And then also another social media that people don't really talk about, but it's a big player, is Quora. Quora, Q-U-O-R-A, Quora. So it's a question and answer site, and you can actually start practicing your public health know-how now by answering people's questions. Did anyone have like Any questions? Yes. Yeah, sure. So if you have any questions about the sites and things, this is going to be posted online, but also you can email me. I have a flyer in the back, and you can come by and pick it up with my email on it. So it has the flyer for how to reach me, how to book an appointment, but it also has like the information on the back. My email is at the bottom in the footer, so I can give it to you then. Yes. I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah, actually, I don't think that's because it's writing. Most of your career development stuff is going to be writing, so like that's me. Any other questions? I'm just going to jot it down if it's not a yes or no question. Anyone else? Okay. So moving on, effective writing and academic culture. So goals of academia is to contribute to your field of study through collaboration with your peers, and you do that through attributions and citations. So it's not just a thing of, oh, I need to avoid plagiarizing. It's also a thing of this is how you interact with your peers in your field. It's through attributions and citations. And then also deliberate practice and getting good feedback. So you do that through higher order concerns and lower order concerns, and that's going to be on a following slide. So spoiler alert, most of your career development stuff is going to be writing stuff. So here's a flyer that I have over here, and it's just an overview of how citations work. And it's also a good model for how you should be writing your papers. So I've been working at a lot of the labs. Some of the students, when I go over their papers, some of the things I see is that they rely too much on other people's quotations. That's not plagiarism if you cite it, but it is really lazy writing. So what I suggest is before you cite something, first relate it back to whatever your thesis is. So introduce it, give your ideas about it, remark on it, then give a support of a citation, and then use transitional sentences to connect the things together. A transitional sentences just makes your paper more pleasant to read, to be honest, because if you're just shooting off ideas one after the other, it's really hard for the person to, first of all, see the connections between the ideas. So transitional phrases or transitional sentences are used to connect the ideas together. Okay, and this is an overview on how to use your assignments to basically get a job. And the main way to do that is to bypass the competitive cloud by academic blogging and mentioning the people who you want to work with. And you do that by, when you do your paper and you start remarking on people's work, you already have the material there to do your academic blogging. So that's an overview of that. And then academic culture and craftsmanship, I have like a whole presentation just on craftsmanship in academia, and that's mainly how you get feedback for things and getting constant feedback for the things that you do. I'm one of those people who you're going to use to get constant feedback from, your professors and things like that, but the sorts of questions you would ask me versus the sorts of questions you would ask your professor differ. You would ask me mainly lower order concerns. So as you can read it here, lower order concerns are normally discussed with an editor, that's me, or a personal editor with, or a submission editor. So I'm technically would be your submission editor if you treat your professors as if they're journalists or publication journals. Higher order concerns would be more for your professors. So you would ask mainly the people who you're collaborating with, your peers, so you would be asking each other more of those higher order concern questions, or your professor. So this is an overview of the differences between higher order concerns, lower order concerns, and in the middle is composition. So composition is basically how you write your paper, how your paper is composed, where you're discussing your ideas. That can be either a higher order concern where you would ask your professor, hey, is this even a good idea? Or you're asking me, hey, does this even make sense? So that's where it overlaps. I love infographics, by the way. This is like my whole thing. I spend So this is a multiple intelligences test. This is a test that I got from somewhere else, but I compiled into a nice place for you guys to do. When I send you an email in my footer, I always have a link to this multiple intelligence test there. I also have links to how to book with me. I have a link to the help desk in case you don't know what's going on with your IT stuff. But the multiple intelligence test, it's not a personality test. It's just gauging the sorts of activities that would be the most helpful to you when developing your career. And it culminates it in 2 categories. And you use these categories to search the technique profile. So this is just a list of helpful activities that will help you with developing your professional writing and also developing your professional career. So this is something I sent out as well. And this is the exploration plan. The exploration plan was actually something that a student came up with, and it was so helpful. When you go to the exploration plan, her name is actually at the top because I believe in always giving people credit. So if you ever help me out with developing something, your name's going on it. But this is an overview. The main thing that I wanted to say about the exploration plan tonight is the outcomes. So whenever you have a personal statement or if you're trying to convince anyone of anything, you have to have a mission statement. So after you finish your exploration plan, one of the outcomes is a mission statement. A list of career building activities. So those are activities from the techniques profile. Those are activities that you think are good for yourself, because at the end of the day, when I made the techniques profile, I didn't know you. So it's also a list of career building activities, a list of potential employers, a list of peers in your field, so list of your friends who are going to school with you, as well as professors and people outside the school who can help you achieve your goals. Items and topics for personal statements. All of those things are going to go in your personal statements. If you're trying to do for fellowships, if you're trying to move on and do your doctorate program, things like that. And then items for other self-promotion materials. So your resume, your bio summaries, and your social media descriptions. Your resume, though, you don't come from me for your resume. You come to Career Services. That's my colleague. She'll be coming up soon to talk more about that. Next slide. And that is it. Did anyone have any other additional questions for me? Yes. So long as you're still a student here. Yeah. So if you are doing, for example, if you're doing a fellowship with some organization in the city that's technically outside the school, you're still a student here, and your work is representative of us. That's the logic behind it. So you can email me and tell me about it. And also, I'm just nosy. I just want to see what you're working on. And no problem. Any other questions? Oh, what's your name, by the way? I've been trying to get everybody's names. What's your name and what's your program? It's okay. Seton, and what program?
My name is Dr. Ching. I am
names before. I'm so sorry. Anyone else? All right. Okay, so again, I want to welcome you and thank you for being awake and awake and really responsive during my presentation. And yeah, thank you.
We have a few more speakers, and there's coffee in the back if you are not awake. So in addition to writing services, we also have quantitative help and services. All of you will have to take biostatistics and epidemiology, very heavy on quantitative skills, math, right? So if you're struggling with any of that, we do have someone who will be able to help you once the semester starts. And all these services will be communicated to you via email a little bit later this summer, so you know who to contact for what if you're having issues. Okay, but up next is our librarian, Emily Pagano.
Hello. Hi. Okay, yeah, so Yeah, my name's Emily. I'm a librarian, and I'll be here to, well, right now I'm just here to introduce the services that are available to you. So there's just a couple of things that I want to make you aware of right off the bat. The first thing is that there is no actual library on campus. So if you're wandering around looking for one, you won't find one. It's a digital situation. All the searching you do will take place online. You'll mostly be working within the databases. So the library services that are offered to you are administered by the City College. I mainly want to make you aware of that because when you're going into the library guide, which I'll show you, and digging around in the databases, you'll see the City College logo, you'll see their purple banner and all that. That's why, so you don't have to be confused as to why you're seeing that. I mentioned this library guide, we call it the LibGuide. I'll show that to you. There's lots of info on there on all the services we offer, where to go to research, information on citations, literature reviews, all of that good stuff. And the last thing to be aware of is when you're off campus, which is when you'll be doing the majority of your research, I'm sure you'll have to go through the links to the databases that are on our LibGuide so that you're going through the CUNY proxies. We don't want to hit any paywalls or anything like that, so you'll have to use those links, which I will show you. So, the library guide, I will show you how to get there. So once you're on the main page, if you go to academics, scroll down and you'll see this library services link. That brings you to this page, which is just kind of a landing page with some quick links on it, but the heart of the matter is right here, the Public Health LibGuide, and that looks like this. Just to go back to the slide for a second. Sorry. If you can't remember to go through the main library page, you can go directly by going to libguides.ccny.edu/publichealth, or just Google CCNY Public Health LibGuide. So back to the LibGuide. This is where pretty much all the information that you'll need lives. You see we have different tabs up here, searching for material, data and statistics, citations. Citations are really important, like Ronnie had mentioned. There's links here on different citation management software that you can download. There's information on how to export citations from databases. You'll see. So since we don't have an actual library, you can request items from other CUNY libraries or just any other libraries in general. So under this interlibrary loan and clicks tab, you'll find directions on how to do that. Yeah, so clicks is for material that's in other CUNY libraries. Interlibrary loans are for material that is outside of the CUNY system. New York Public Library, any public library, other schools, libraries, things like that. So I'm going to come back to this in a second. So another thing I wanted to talk about are the course reserves. So though we don't have an actual library, we do have a shelf of course reserves, which are basically required texts for all of your classes. That's over in the study lounge on this floor, just right across the hall here. This is supposed to be an open library situation where you can take books off the shelf as needed, use them on campus, and kindly return them when you're done. Usually we say reserved books are for 2 hours. There's also a full list of these books on the LibGuide if you ever want to just have a look at what's there. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a quick introduction on how to search for material, mainly scholarly articles, peer-reviewed articles. Those are the kinds of things that you'll be searching for. So if we go back to the LibGuide, and we go to this tab, Finding Material, you'll see 3 main ways on how to find articles. One way is OneSearch. OneSearch is basically kind of a catch-all database. It's CUNY-wide. You can find catalog records for books, journals, magazines, pretty much everything. It's a one-stop shop. That is where you will need your barcode, which is going to be on the back of your new IDs. You'll just have to log in with that barcode when using OneSearch off campus. Another way to do it would be to go directly to a journal. So if you know you want to search the American Journal of Public Health, for example, you can go to this link and search for the journal that you want. And you'll see there's a bunch of different ways that you can access it. We even have historical editions from as far back as 1912. Here you'll see from the 70s to the present. And you just click these links and it'll bring you to this page, which is where you will use that email information, the first part of your email, without the @SPH mail part. So just that first part and that password. It's the same credentials that you'll use to log onto the computers on campus, the Wi-Fi, all of that is what you'll need. And once you're in there, you just do the searching that you need to do. The other option is to search subject-specific databases. Right here we have a list of all of the most common ones that public health students are using. PubMed, ScienceDirect, Medline, Scopus, things like that. So you can follow these links, go through the proxy, and you'll be able to search the database that way. We also have a full list of all the databases you will have access to, which includes lots of things that probably aren't relevant to you, but if you want to see what you can use, you can come to this full list. And you can search, for example, if you're looking at psychology, you can just type that in there and you'll see all of these suggested databases come up for you to use. Okay, so I know that seems like a lot to remember, but it's mainly just to serve as an overview for you. So this is my contact information. You can reach out to my personal email or library@sph.cuny.edu. Those will also come to me. Any questions on anything. For the summer, I'm here Monday to Wednesday, 5:30 to 8:30. For the fall, any hours will be posted on the library guide as well. Yeah, and I really encourage you to look at that library guide before you actually have to do any research. Just familiarize yourself with it, see what kind of information is there. And yeah, please don't hesitate to come to me for anything at all, and I'll do my best to help. I have such a hard time seeing that.
Okay. Up next is Maurice Pombo from the bookstore, SPH Bookstore. Pick up the lots of tabs, Emily.
How's everybody doing? All right, so similar to the library, SPH does not have a bookstore on campus. Everything's done online. Just for a show of hands, has anyone been to any other of the CUNYs before? All right, so for some of the other CUNYs, this has already happened as well, where they shut down the on-campus bookstore, gone to an online option. Same thing here. To find the bookstore website, you can go to academics, right here to SPH Online Bookstore. Take you to a landing page giving you a brief overview of some of the benefits and logging in, or you go direct to sphbookstore.com. And one of the first things you're going to see is you're going to need your CUNY login, same thing as your CUNY First. All the courses that are registered and connected to your CUNY First login is going to lay out in front of you, so you're going to have basically a personalized page of your courses and what materials and books your professors say are required. On the bookstore, there's a few different options we have. We do have shipments of new and used books. We offer ebooks and rentals of ebooks, which is kind of the cheaper option. Gives you access to the books, I believe, for about 120 days, just about 4 months. And also we have what we call the marketplace, which I usually have a little trouble finding. The marketplace, just a quick overview, is basically kind of like the Amazon marketplace, eBay. I think Chegg and Half.com might have one too. Essentially just other vendors or students across the country selling off their used textbooks. You guys also will have the option to sell off your used textbooks that you have at home lying around right now, or ones you won't need after a semester. We usually try to point students into the direction of the marketplace only because the average savings is usually about 60% off retail price or list price. and those are usually the books that go fast. So we always tell students, log in after you get your CUNY First login. We will send out emails and notifications to your CUNY First email. I believe 4 weeks before the first day of classes, which is August 27th. So first week of August, you guys should start getting emails letting you know that your classes have been loaded, your books have been loaded, and you guys should have your full textbook list in front of you. One other thing I'd like to mention is also, as you guys see here, is a price match guarantee. This only applies to when you're buying new textbooks. So if you go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Chegg, and they're selling a new book at a cheaper option, send us the URL. We'll match it for you at checkout. If you're having any issues with that, go up to the help page right here, and you can call right into customer service. It's a toll-free line, and we usually, students don't wait more than 5 minutes because we've added enough customer service representatives on the line. They'll walk you through it, and you should be done probably within 10 minutes of your time. Shipping. Usually shipping takes between 5 to 10 business days if you're buying directly from our inventory. If you are buying on the marketplace, underneath each option on the marketplace, it'll state the city and state where the seller is selling from. Just a quick heads up, take a look. If you need the book in a hurry, don't buy from someone in the West Coast in Texas or something like that. For the most part, just try to keep an eye on that and look for sellers close by if you're trying to get cheap. If you need it quicker, we do have different shipping options, faster ones, but just I'm sure as you guys know, the quicker you need it, the more it'll cost to ship it out. Does anyone have any questions as of right now? If you guys think of any, I'll actually be right in the back for the rest of the night, and I do have a few small palm cards that just give out a quick overview on how to log in and some of the benefits, all right?
Okay, up next is Amor Elsie from the Office of Experiential Learning to talk to you about practicum, mostly.
Thank you, Meg. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the School of Public Health. Well, we are approaching to the end of the orientation, and it's a simulation that think about you're approaching to your degree work, and you're excited to finish. And you're all going to remember one word about public health, which is very important to all of us as public health workers, is prevention. And this presentation is about prevention. We are here, I'm here on behalf of Experiential Learning to prevent you from last-minute surprises at the end of your coursework. So I really appreciate if you pay attention, because your prevention work needs to start right now for your success. Office of Experiential Learning has been established. It's fairly new. It's been established to respond to the Council of Education for Public Health, the accrediting body for all academic public health programs. And we serve all School of Public Health departments, faculty, and students to support experiential learning that you all going to pass through Office of Experiential Learning. Just an example, right now, this is a short summer term. We have over 50 students going through their practicums through OEL. It's a small office. Professor Molina is our director, and I and Marita Lamonica, our student services coordinator, work with Professor Molina. What we do, we maintain and coordinate practicum sites. It's in the web page. I'm going to guide you in a minute. We also help you with the orientation, coordination of your practicum experiential learning activities. And at the end, we assess your success towards the end of your coursework at practicum. which will be reflected as your capstone work, as a finishing project for your coursework. So what is this practicum? Mainly it is for master students and PhD and MS students. It's 180 hours service learning. It's an experiential learning based on competencies of your degree work, of your specialty area, and we aim to apply public health skills to real-world examples. It can be a research project, it can be an applied service project, and we strongly encourage you to make your plans to lead your work towards your capstone. Now, I think I see one hand as a doctoral student. Doctoral students have slightly different twists. They have 3 different options, and we help them to pick their options when the time comes and they contact us. So what do you need? You need to complete 18 credit hours of work, especially epidemiology and biostatistics, and 2 specialization area coursework. Also, we are going to send, again, CUNY email. Check your CUNY email, because whatever the information you're going to receive, it comes to your CUNY School of Public Health email. We're going to send you information. Orientations will be scheduled when the time comes, and you will be required to attend orientation a semester before the planned practicum. Public health is a teamwork, and your practicum also is a teamwork. You are going to work with your faculty advisor. You better learn, you better schedule a meeting, you better sit with them early during your coursework. You're also going to work with practicum site preceptors. These are not necessarily faculty members, but they are public health practitioners outside in different organizations throughout 5 boroughs or around the country and sometimes around the world. And also you're going to work with me, Marita, and Professor Molina. I think this is the most important slide of my presentation, because do not think, my friends, the practicum is like your ordinary courses that when the time comes up, you register, take your books, and start taking the classes. No, you need to make your planning way before practicum comes. So do not wait until the last term or end of your coursework thinking that everything is going to work. It takes a lot of planning before you start practicum. So you need to list your interest areas. What do you want to do? Where do you want to do your practicum? You all have, one of our new students mentioned that she's focusing on management, health management. You have your interest areas, you have your specialty areas. List works that attracts you as possible practicum areas, and look for candidate sites. If you go to the web page, I'm going to show you in a minute. We have approved practicum sites. You can review them. And the most important thing is that meet with your faculty advisor. Discuss your ideas, discuss your plans. Remember, Meg highlighted at the very beginning of the orientation, this is a graduate work. So you are going to be the leader of your coursework. You need to take the lead, you need to make your plans, work with your faculty advisor, work with us, make your plans ahead towards a successful practicum. Let's say that you are interested in a work and your practicum site is not listed. That is fine. Again, discuss it, make your plans, prepare your justification, and contact us, and let us review that site and approve. We are just constantly reviewing different sites. Send us your suggestions, and we'll be happy to work with you. Another very, 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 very important information, Human Research Protection Program, HRPP. Now, Meg mentioned that you are going to involve in different research activities. You are going to involve in writing papers. You are going to involve in human subject related work. Whatever you're doing, my friends, you have to consult with HRPP office. It's very, very important. We are experiencing some delays with our students, an overwhelming majority of delays right now that they neglected paying attention to HRPP information. Now they realize that, boy, HRPP is really important. It's just holding me from a lot of things. Take your coffees, take your teas or soups, whatever you like to drink. Spend some time to HRPP webpage. Get familiarized, learn about HRPP activities. It is going to help you. So at the end of your practicum, you are going to have deliverables. These are some examples of the deliverables. You have questions, you contact to us, we will explain further. The final deliverable is going to be your capstone work at the end of your coursework. So practicum deliverables are kind of one stepping stone towards the end of your coursework. And finally, oel@sph.cuny.edu is our main contact email. Please do not hesitate to send us an email through your CUNY School of Public Health email address. Please note again that emails we received from your Gmails, from your Hotmails, or any other emails, we tend not to pay attention because it's important for all of us to use our CUNY email addresses. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to working with you soon. If you have any questions right now, I'll be happy to answer, and I wish you all my best. Any questions? All right, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, one question. Can you speak a little louder? So, yeah.
Is it compulsory to have your capstone project based off of practice?
It is not compulsory. It is not mandatory. It cannot be mandatory because, remember I mentioned that we have over 50 students right now this term. It means 50 different practicum sites around New York State or around the country. So it cannot be mandatory. There are things happen, life happens. So, but we strongly, strongly encourage you to reduce your workloads by connecting your practicum to your capstone. And that connection is through planning, through successful planning, through successful teamwork with your faculty advisor and us. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amor. So when I was in graduate school, I studied public health as well. Practicum was called field work, and some people call it internship. So it's all the same, practicum, field work, internship, all that. Okay, so last but not least, we have our Director of Career Services and Alumni Relations, Atika Nadim.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CUNY SPH. Thanks, Meg, for the introduction. So I just want to go over some resources and services that are available to you under my office. I'm going to keep it brief because I know it's been a really long evening for you all. So something that I want to point out quickly is our website. So all the information for the Office of Career Services and Alumni Relations is listed on our website. So if you go to Student Services, under Office of Career Services, So we offer career coaching appointments, of course. I encourage you to start taking advantage of this resource as soon as you begin your degree program. So what I mean by that is schedule an appointment and come and meet with me. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with a career plan so we can ensure that you can start working on that plan as soon as you begin your degree program to make sure that you can achieve your career goals by the time that you graduate. In addition to the career coaching, we also offer webinars to be able to make sure that you are, gaining those career development skills as you're working on your master's degree. Also, we hold a lot of events on campus to be able to make sure that we give you the platform to be able to engage with industry professionals. So, of course, we have a career fair, we hold mixers, information sessions, and other such events and activities. You are welcome to go on the webpage and look at our events calendar for the spring. We haven't posted our next academic year calendar of events yet, but it will be posted by the end of the summer. Other than that, we do receive a lot of career opportunities for employers, and we do also post that on our web page. It's not a secure system as of yet, but you're welcome to start browsing these career opportunities that have been posted at least in the last few weeks. How many of you are going to be looking for jobs, career transitioning, or internship? Quite a bit of you. Before you begin your classes, if you're already searching, I do encourage you to maybe click on the job openings and see what has been posted so far, and you're welcome to apply. If you want to get started on your resume, on interviewing skills, on any of those career development things, you're welcome to schedule an appointment with me over the summer as well. In addition to that, we also have resources available to you. There are some guides available there. There's another platform that you can click on to be able to access a lot of guides and blogs that are able to help you with developing those really important career-related skills. Other than that, I look forward to partnering with you. Thank you so much, and I will be over here for any additional questions.
Thanks, Atika. Guys, this is it. Do you have any questions for me? Maybe others would like to hear. No questions? If you do, I'm going to be over here. I think there are cookies in the back. I'm going to get some.